What up everybody, Eric Richard here with Era Fitness Systems. Today we are talking how to lose belly fat. Now one of the simplest and best ways you can do that is to make sure that you are putting the proper food in your body and you're taking in the proper nutrition. Now, there are a ton of different diets out there that people try, constantly get asked the question, which is the best diet? What should I be focusing on? How many carbs should I have? How many grams of protein should I have per day? How much water should I be drinking? These are all really valid questions and important questions that you need to have answered. The biggest thing I want to focus on today is not necessarily all of those macro specific questions, but more as to what is specifically good for your physiology, your biochemistry. Something that I do every 1 to 2 years is a Mediator Release Test. It's an MRT. And basically what this does is break down the food sensitivities that you specifically have in your body. Okay, there are some other tests out there called IgG. ALCAT is another version of a food sensitivity test, but the MRT is the most up-to-date and best available option out there. It's up to 93.6% accurate. I think the last time I read on the ALCAT it was more about 80-85. But basically, like I said, it takes you through what foods your body has an inflammatory reaction to. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of mine. I did about 1.5 years ago. I mean, this is 2 years ago now. But as you can see, it'll give you a database of foods that are non-reactive, green, foods that are moderately reactive, yellow, and foods that are very reactive, red. So as you can see in all of these different areas, I had some foods that were moderately reactive and very reactive, things that you would typically think are healthy, right? Apricots, apples, bananas, eggplants, tomatoes, spinach, let's see what else we got here. Salmon, codfish, these are things that I was eating on a very, very regular basis. And what happens is as you eat those foods constantly, your body then gets depleted of being able to break down those foods properly. So basically what they do is they take your blood and it will show you how much your white blood cells react to all of these different foods. This specific one is 150 foods. If you wanted a little bit wider base, like I said, the ALCAT is a little less specific, but it goes into a wider food base, so there is an option there as well. But after that, they break down for you exactly how you should be cycling off foods. So basically you would take your foods that you are not reactive to and cycle through them for a couple different weeks. And then what happens is, after you've done that for a while, you can eventually cycle back on the foods that you were non-reactive to and very reactive to. For me, a very good example of things that I was eating or drinking that I thought were healthy for me, 1 was salmon, 2 was chicken, 3 was spinach, and 4 was green tea. After I took this test, it was very, very clear that these things were making my energy go down drastically, and I really wasn't feeling as mentally sharp as I normally did. So that was like a huge wake-up call for me. Also, when I did this test, I realized that my body fat dropped immediately. There was like a 1.6% drop in the next 2 weeks, and I was training hard and I was doing all the other right things that I should be doing, but I saw a huge spike in body fat loss, specifically around my midsection. Why around my midsection? Because what happens is when you have an inflammatory response to these foods that you're reactive to, your cortisol spikes up, and inflammation goes up, and it causes a problem with burning more fat around your midsection. Okay, so when you have a cortisol problem, you have an insulin problem, that's where most of the fat gets stored. So again, the answer to your question, how do I lose more belly fat? The answer was right there. You find a place where you can do a MRT test. If you want to come into my gym here at 90 Southwest Street in Miami, you can do so. I can get you set up with a lab analyst. If not, there's tons of online options that you can have set up, and then you can also just speak with a lab analyst over the phone and be well on your way to losing more body fat, having more energy, feeling better. Again, this is called an MRT. It's one of the best diet plans out there. I highly recommend that you check it out. I hope this video helped. If it did, please make sure that you share it, and I'll see you in the next video.